Everybody's talking about it, so let's talk about it. Boundaries. It's me, your favorite NLP and cognitive reappraisal coach, and I actually know a thing or two about boundaries, so let's talk about it. After the release of some of these text messages between Jonah Hill and his ex pro surfer Sarah Brady, there's been a lot of conversation about boundaries, but specifically what they are, what they aren't, and how they work in relationship. And there's not a lot that I'm going to be able to add in this conversation. We've heard it all, right? Boundaries are for you. They're not to control another person. They are to set limits around the things that are important to you. But I think there are a few important points to remember about healthy boundaries in relationships, why they exist, and how they come about. Now, every boundary needs relationships because it helps couples to establish before the relationship takes place healthy expectations, healthy standards, teamwork, communication, yada, 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 yada. And boundaries are great because when couples actually sit down at a table together before they start investing in each other and express what their boundaries are and what their expectations are and whether or not they're a good fit, a little bit like a business meeting, they can actually lower the stress in the relationship, create a lot of self-awareness, and create a lot of peace and contentment between each other. But boundaries aren't dictations of someone else's life, okay? Your boundaries in a relationship have nothing to do with what someone else wears, what they look like, what their profession is, etc. No, boundaries protect things like how we are going to communicate with one another, how we are going to share things inside of this relationship of which we are both an equal part. Boundaries help us protect our personal space, our financial expectations, and even our sexual boundary line. What boundaries don't do is coerce other people, is shame other people, is force them to change their behavior in ways which makes them unhappy. Boundaries aren't there to protect you from being insecure. Boundaries and boundary setting in a relationship should always be an exchange, not a dictation. If you want to learn more, you can click the link in my bio to read this article that I wrote for Medium.com, and tons of other great ones will help you establish healthier boundaries in your relationships.